The DPRK troops fighting on the side of the Russian Federation in the Kursk region are becoming a sweet target for Ukrainian drones. Pyongyang's soldiers do not yet know the specifics of drone warfare. The deputy commander of the unmanned systems battalion of the 36th Separate Marine Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, under the pseudonym Wolf, said on the air of We Are Ukraine. The military man noted that the DPRK military is using a primitive tactic of luring drones with live bait, which was previously noted in their military notes. There are currently many North Korean soldiers in our direction who are a sweet target for UAVs because they do not yet understand what drones are. This is in our favor now. They do not spare their manpower, and that is why they have such tactics. The North Koreans are trying to shoot down the drones with heavy small arms fire, but the operators are successfully countering this. Wolf promised that there will be a drone for every North Korean soldier. According to him, the overall situation in the Kursk region of the Russian Federation is difficult. Worsened weather conditions prevent unmanned systems units from fully realizing their potential on the battlefield. Our direction is difficult, like all the others. Now the enemy is conducting meat assaults using equipment, but thanks to unmanned systems, we are holding them back, saving our infantrymen, helping and destroying the enemy as much as possible, added Wolf. As noted in the report of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Russians continue to involve units of the Army of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in military operations in the Kursk region of Russia. At the same time, the GUR emphasized North Korean units continue to suffer significant losses among their personnel. Russia has lost up to a battalion of North Korean soldiers. These figures cover only losses in the Kursk region over the past 2 days, states Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski. Zelenski said that he had listened to a report by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky, on the situation in the Kursk region. In particular, in the battles near the village of Makhnovka, the Russian army lost up to a battalion of infantry, North Korean soldiers and Russian paratroopers. And it is noticeable, the president emphasized. He also praised the Ukrainian military for destroying the enemy. In general, I want to recognize the professional and effective actions of our soldiers, of the Special Operations Forces and the 80th Separate Airborne Assault Brigade, the head of Ukraine emphasized.
Russian Defense Ministry confirmed the surprise large-scale Ukrainian attack on border Kursk region on Sunday. Ukrainian army launched offensive in different directions of the front line in Kursk. The Russian Defense Ministry said the attack included 2 tanks, a barrier vehicle, and 12 armored combat vehicles with soldiers who were heading to the Russian settlement of Berdyan. Andriy Kovalenko, a senior official with Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, wrote about the operation in Telegram. In the Kursk region, the Russians are deeply concerned. They were attacked on multiple fronts, which came as a surprise to them, he said. Andriy Yermak, the head of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's office, said the attack had been successful. Kursk region, good news, Russia is getting what it deserves, he wrote. Meanwhile, Russian Z military correspondents reported that Ukrainian troops had deployed electronic warfare and Russian drones and artillery failed to prevent Ukrainian strikes. Some Russian telegram channels reported that the target of the Ukrainian troops was the Kursk nuclear power plant and warned that Ukraine might soon capture the village of Tetkino. Reports of Ukrainian offensive on Kursk followed Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky's statement on Saturday that Russian forces lost up to a battalion of infantry during battles in the Kursk region this week. Speaking in an evening address, Zelensky claimed the battalion included both North Korean soldiers and Russian paratroopers. Ukraine launched large-scale incursion into Kursk in mid-August, capturing large swathes of land in the region. The attack was the largest incursion into Russian territory since World War II.
The British FV-101 Scorpion Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle was spotted in service with the 2nd Operational Purpose Company, the 4-post 1st Operational Purpose Battalion of the Burevy 1st Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine, writes the Factum. In fact, the rare British light reconnaissance tank was probably purchased by volunteers, or it was purchased through private structures, analysts note. According to them, there was no official report on the transfer of the FV-101 Scorpion combat reconnaissance vehicle from Britain to Ukrainian soldiers. According to analysts from Infactum, the custom version of the FV-101 Scorpion is equipped with a 76mm cannon, that the sample in the photo has a 14.5mm Vladimirov heavy machine gun, probably because the cannon was missing when purchased, or there was no ammunition for it. Note that observers from the Spanish defense wrote that the small but strong Scorpions are among the best light tanks in the world. Due to their speed and maneuverability, they are ideal for reconnaissance. The Spanish Marine Corps also use them for landing on ships and in amphibious operations. However, in 2007, Spain decommissioned them due to the high costs of modernization. Analysts from Infactum noticed the British FV-101 Scorpion armoured reconnaissance vehicle in service with the Burevi 1st Brigade of the NGU. The Scorpion FV-101 is armed with the low-velocity 76mm L23A1 gun, which could fire high explosives, HESH, smoke, and canister rounds. Storage was provided for 40 or 42 rounds. A 7.62mm coaxial L7 GPMG was also fitted, as were two multi-barreled smoke grenade dischargers, one on each side of the turret. The main armament has an elevation of 35 degrees and a depression of 10 degrees. The turret has a full 360-degree traverse. The traverse was, however, hand-cranked, a cost-saving feature that made the turret relatively slow and laborious to traverse relative to other vehicles of its type. This gun was later deemed to be unsatisfactory, as RAF testing showed that the lack of a fume extraction system caused toxic fumes to enter the fighting compartment, endangering the crew's health. The FV-101 was a very light armoured vehicle weighing in at a mere 8 tons. This meant some compromises had to be made on protection. The vehicle had 12.7mm of sloped aluminium armour, giving an average effective thickness of 25mm. The FV-101 had all-round protection from shell fragments and 7.62mm rounds, and the heavy sloped frontal arc was designed to be resistant to 14.5mm rounds fired from 200 meters. The initial manufacture of the aluminium armor resulted after time and effects of the environment in failure, stress corrosion cracking, which seriously affected all early builds.